All right, we're here for this week's Reserves Report with Reserves Coach Henry Playfair. Henry, we were talking last week about getting off to a good start, and you must have been wrapped with the start you got last week against Belconnen, keeping them scoreless for the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really good start actually, which was pleasing given I think we spoke last week about our poor starts for the 2 weeks previously. So it was a big focus going into the game, and the boys certainly responded and played well in the first quarter.
And ended up being a 109-point victory, so it would be easy to point out the attacking aspect of the game, but defensively you must have been wrapped with Lewis Johnson. I think you said earlier about 9 spoils for the game.
Yeah, he actually had 14 spoils, so his defensive work was really good, which is what we've been pushing with him. He's really good when he's got the footy in his hand, but we thought for our team, and as a defender, he's going to have to learn to defend first, and his last 3 weeks have been slowly improving, so it was pleasing. Again, on the weekend, he took a step forward.
And you had Tig down in the back line as well, and I think it was in the last quarter when we were about 100 points up. He ran about 80 metres when it was a 3-on-1 to Belconnen, and he effected a spoil over the boundary line, so he must have been wrapped to at least save the goal.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about his goal when he charged off down the field and combined with the other mad Irishman and snuck in a goal. But no, that was a terrific effort, and I guess that's what he's been building towards, getting his run back, and it was pleasing to see that on the weekend. He got through a full game, but still some efforts where he followed his man out of the 50, and then as the ball came down, he charged back and saved a certain goal. So that's holding him in good stead, and he'll be in contention for senior selection, I'd say, in the next few weeks.
And then in the midfield, you had Jared Moore and Luke Parker pretty much amongst all of it throughout the whole game.
Yeah, both of those boys had big games, kicked 5 goals between them. Would have had about 60 possessions, but certainly their stoppage work and their defensive work as well, which is what we look at mainly, was pretty good.
And then in the forward line, Benny Haran snuck up with 3 goals again, I think for the 3rd week in a row, and a new haircut for the young man this week. Yeah,
that'll be an interesting one. The fans will they might not recognise him this weekend. He's gone from red to black in the space of a day, so that's an interesting one. But he did well. He started on the bench, and just because of our, I guess the rule, we can only play 13 listed players, so he was one who unfortunately missed out. But credit to him, he kept his chin up, and when he got out there, he took his chances, and certainly didn't let starting on the bench affect his game.
And big Mike Pike back into the side after travelling to Perth the week before, finishing with 4 goals and some pretty impressive soccer work as well, and also a bit of a dish to Jared Moore for a goal assist as well.
Yeah, Pikey had a pretty reasonable all-round game. He probably played 65% of his time forward and the rest of the time in the ruck, and managed to kick 4 goals, as you mentioned, and his bodywork marking's improved. Pretty much all aspects of his game have improved, his skills, and he's just starting to get a feel for, as you mentioned, the knock-on, those subtleties of the game, where he's certainly lifted. So he'd be one as well as in line for senior selection as well.
And he played most of the game in the forward line because you had big Mark Seeby in the ruck. How'd you see his game? He was pretty dominant.
Yeah, Seebs was terrific. He was probably a bit below par last weekend, even by his own admission, so for him to bounce back, and he was pretty dominant in the ruck all day and followed up and ended up having 24 possessions around the ground. So we were pretty happy with the way he played as well.
And this weekend you got the bye as well as the seniors, and gearing up for the game ahead of the Carlton game for the reserves.
Yeah, we're playing Tuggeranong the week after in a curtain raiser, so we'll look forward to that, and again we'll be looking to keep improving our players individually and as a team, hopefully getting better.
No worries, thanks for your time, Henry.